All right, let's get to more on that breaking news that Lonnie just mentioned in L.A., where firefighters are now scrambling to control that fast-moving wildfire.
As you saw, it's being fueled by extreme winds that are just not letting up tonight. About 30,000 people under evacuation orders right now. More than 2,900 acres have been burned, and the governor says many structures have been destroyed. An estimated 10,000 additional structures are under threat.
This is all happening in Pacific Palisades. That's a neighborhood of multi-million-dollar homes in West L.A., and that is where we find Tom Waite from our CBS station in L.A. And Tom, we understand the governor has declared a state of emergency there tonight.
Christina, Maurice, it is absolutely nightmarish here. And yes, the governor did declare a state of emergency, and it's clear why. This is one of the worst fires we've had in years, and it just continues to burn. Let me show you this just behind me here. This is a theater that's off of one of the main streets that carves through the canyons here in Pacific Palisades. That's a theater, and just beyond it and just in front of it, power lines down. This is just one tiny corner of this area where they're experiencing just horrible conditions for firefighters trying to get a handle on this fire. I mean, there is fire everywhere around me, 360 degrees. Just behind me, there's a high school. It's on fire, too. But take a look at some of this video. This is a little bit earlier. A multi-million-dollar mansion was burning in the hills above the ocean. It's just a horrific scene. Thousands of people having to evacuate. And for firefighters, it's very difficult or even impossible in some situations to get to these fires. In fact, even tonight they had to bring down their air support because of these very, very windy and gusty conditions. It's impossible to keep those aircraft in the air. And even if they can, trying to dump water down onto the fire area, it just disperses in the air. There's also one scene, if we could show you too, where people were actually trying to get out of their homes following those evacuation orders. And when they did, they were trying to escape via car, as we tend to do in L.A., and they had to run for their lives. They thought the fire was coming up over the canyon road, and so people abandoned their cars, and eventually authorities here had to bulldoze the cars to move them off of the roadway in order to get emergency personnel, things like fire trucks, up to these areas to fight these fires. Apartment buildings have burned, homes have burned. It's just been a terrible situation. Take a listen to what we talked to residents out here today.
We saw some literally flaming debris landed in the road near where we were standing. So it seemed to be, let's get out of here. Whatever I lose, I lose.
And that really is the sentiment here. People have been following those evacuation orders, and you can see just beyond me here, more flames, more fire, and it is absolutely, I think, as you reported off the top of your newscast, nowhere near ending. People are getting ready for more windy conditions throughout the night. In fact, we have another wildfire that started in another very populated area in the Pasadena area. I'm sure many of your viewers know that area. So it's just going to be a really horrible week here in Southern California with these winds. Back to you.
Well, Tom, we are certainly thinking of all of you out there. It's absolute mayhem and devastation. Thank you for that live report. And of course, we'll continue to follow this breaking story out of California. You can also find updates on CBSNewYork.com.